Chosen one. Somewhere right now, someone is trembling in terror. Their hands shake as they realize the shield they once hid behind has reversed its power. The same person who tried to destroy your name is about to lose everything they built on deception. But understand this, you were never their victim, you were their judgment in human form. Every breath you took gathered evidence, every act of endurance documented the truth. The universe used you as divine bait to expose something ancient, corrupt and deeply hidden, and now the trap has been triggered. Like a meadow falling silent as everyone turns to stare at one figure, the collective gaze has shifted. Disgust replaces admiration. Masks fall. What once hid behind holy robes and titles is being dragged into the light for all to see. This isn't just about your vindication. It's about revelation. A spiritual predator has been unmasked, and you, the survivor, have lived to tell the tale. There was someone in your life who wore the perfect disguise. Perhaps they preached from altars, spoke softly in sacred circles, or carried the air of wisdom that made others bow in respect. Their words were sweet, their demeanor flawless, and their reputation immaculate. But behind those closed doors lay something that would make angels weep. They studied you like an experiment, dissecting your emotions and mapping your vulnerabilities with surgical precision. They learned what made you trust, what made you doubt, and what wounds from your past could be used against you. When you came to them for healing, they saw opportunity. When you revealed your authentic self, they perceived a threat. Your genuine light exposed the artificial glow they had built their entire identity upon. Your connection to the divine made their spiritual performance look exactly as it was: theater. You represented something pure, something unmanufactured, and that truth was poison to their illusion of power. Real spiritual energy doesn't demand titles, rituals, or manipulation. It simply is. And that unshakable truth made you dangerous to everything they stood for. So, they devised a scheme so intricate that even now, as it crumbles, many struggle to believe someone could be that calculated. It started small. A subtle whisper about your mental state. A quiet concern shared about your unusual behavior. They knew how rumors grow in tight-knit circles, how doubt spreads like wildfire once the first spark catches. They painted your sensitivity as instability, your intuition as delusion. Every act of compassion, every emotional moment, became part of their fabricated evidence. But while they destroyed your reputation in public, they were draining you in secret. They were harvesting from you energetically. Every tear you cried fed their hunger. Every sleepless night spent questioning yourself fueled their rituals. They were not just manipulating perception. They were siphoning life force, practicing dark arts that should have never resurfaced. They blended truth and lies so seamlessly that even your allies hesitated, unsure what to believe. They turned your honesty into ammunition, twisting your words into nooses of false proof. You remember the whispers that stopped when you entered a room. You remember the silence that greeted your presence, the way warmth vanished from spaces that once felt sacred. That chilling isolation crept in slowly, a frost that numbed your soul. You couldn't see it then, but it was all orchestrated. You weren't chosen by accident. You were selected because of what lives within your spiritual DNA, something ancient, radiant, and powerful beyond comprehension. Perhaps it was your bloodline's wisdom, your divine connection, or the purity of heart they could never replicate. They wanted access to it, to steal what they could not embody. They believed that by breaking you, they could complete some ritual, gain entry into realms denied to them. And for a time, it worked. The community turned on you, first subtly, then completely. Friends withdrew, invitations disappeared, and judgment replaced love. You felt the cold shadow of exile without ever understanding why. Meanwhile, your accuser thrived at the center of the stage. They soaked up sympathy, basked in false sainthood, and performed their role as the worried mentor flawlessly. With tear-filled eyes and trembling voice, they convinced others that they carried the heavy burden of revealing your supposed flaws. People comforted them for the pain of exposing you. Every tear they shed was strategic, every act of humility rehearsed. And now, as their web unravels, the truth stands radiant. You were never the broken one. You were the revelation they could not contain. Every sigh they released was scripted. Every prayer they claimed to say for your healing was nothing more than a curse disguised as compassion. This is the chilling truth about false accusations. They aren't just lies, they're spiritual weapons. When someone dares to point a finger at an innocent soul, especially at a chosen one, they're not simply spreading gossip. They're attempting spiritual assassination, an effort to kill your essence, silence your purpose, and dismantle your divine assignment. And in your case, it nearly worked. Almost. You began to question yourself. Maybe they were right. Maybe you really were the problem. Maybe the whole world saw something in you that you couldn't see in yourself. That seed of doubt was their poison, carefully measured, slowly administered. Not enough to destroy you, but just enough to keep you paralyzed. They didn't want you gone. They wanted you neutralized. Alive but ineffective. Breathing but disconnected. Walking but hollow. That isolation felt like being buried alive. You could see the world moving forward without you. Laughter echoing, connections forming. Yet you stood behind invisible glass, unable to join. You became a ghost in your own life. Visible but unseen. Present but unacknowledged. And all of it happened because someone needed a scapegoat to carry the weight of their own darkness. But what they didn't understand is that their attempt to destroy you only triggered your awakening. The universe was watching the entire time, turning their betrayal into your transformation. Every lie told about you was fire, burning away what no longer served your evolution. Every friend who abandoned you was divinely removed for your protection. Every door that closed was a redirection to the one meant only for you. You didn't break, and that was their first shock. You bent, you stumbled, you cried in silence, but you never shattered. Instead, something extraordinary began happening within you. Your intuition sharpened like a blade. Your dreams became windows into prophecy. The veils around you lifted, and suddenly you could see through illusions that once fooled everyone. The pain you endured was not punishment. It was an upgrade. Your spiritual operating system was being rewritten. The false accusations didn't just reveal who your enemies were. They revealed the truth of your strength. They showed who would stand beside you when the crowds vanished, whose love was conditional, and whose faith was real. Even when the weight of false judgment felt unbearable, unseen forces surrounded you. Call them angels, ancestors, or divine consciousness. Something refused to let you fall. In those darkest hours when your spirit was collapsing under betrayal, something whispered, "Hold on." That wasn't weakness. That was divine intervention, proof that heaven itself would not allow its chosen one to be erased. But your enemies persisted. They believed more pressure would finally break you. They sent energetic attacks while you slept. They performed rituals invoking your name, trying to block your blessings, bind your gifts, and chain your destiny. Yet every curse they hurled became an activation key. Every spell they cast unlocked deeper layers of your divine DNA. They didn't realize that their aggression was the alarm clock awakening your dormant power. You were never just human, and now that truth is undeniable. Their assault woke the ancient within you. If these words resonate with your spirit, this message was meant for you. Amplify it. Share it so other chosen ones can awaken to their truth. Because while you were enduring chaos in the physical world, something far greater was happening in the spiritual. Courts were convening in higher realms. Evidence was being collected across dimensions. Every tear you shed was preserved as sacred testimony. Every desperate prayer was recorded as divine proof. The universe was building a case on your behalf, and not under human law, but under cosmic justice. Your accuser thought they were playing a game bound by earthly rules, reputation, manipulation, and deceit. But what they didn't know was that heaven had already opened its courtroom, and the verdict was never going to be in their favor. They had no idea that their actions had already activated forces beyond their control, universal laws that can't be bribed, deceived, or escaped. When someone dares to bear false witness against a chosen one, they unknowingly sign a contract with consequences that echo through lifetimes. And then, without warning, something shifted in the cosmic court. A divine threshold was crossed. Perhaps it was one violation too many. Perhaps they targeted another innocent soul who carried even greater light. Or maybe the universe simply decided that justice could no longer wait. Whatever the cause, their supernatural protection began to fail. The shield that once made them untouchable started to crack, quietly at first. It began subtly, losing their train of thought mid-sermon, their once irresistible charm suddenly falling flat. A story that didn't quite add up beginning to raise eyebrows. The cracks widened. Old victims began recognizing each other. Quiet conversations happened in parking lots and over late-night calls. Patterns started emerging. Undeniable, interconnected, damning. The truth began leaking out like water through a damaged dam. First drops, then streams, then floods. People started sharing their stories, realizing their experiences weren't isolated but eerily similar. What once appeared as harmless quirks now looked like premeditated manipulation under the harsh light of collective awareness. Then came the evidence, undeniable, tangible proof, hidden in places they thought were secure. Documents tucked behind picture frames, deleted messages recovered from digital archives. Whispers turned into testimonies as one brave voice finally broke the silence after years of carrying unbearable secrets. The first domino fell, and then every lie they had built their empire upon began collapsing in perfect sequence. But the evidence wasn't just physical. People began remembering. Conversations that once felt strange now made horrifying sense. Subtle gestures, tone shifts, private warnings, everything started connecting. The fog of illusion cleared, and what stood revealed was monstrous. The same people who once condemned you now look at your accuser with disgust and disbelief. They're realizing they cast out an innocent while protecting a predator. The guilt is crushing them. Some are furious at being manipulated. Others are terrified of what else they missed. All are sickened by their own complicity. And that's what true collective disgust looks like. Not just judgmental glances or whispered gossip, but the complete withdrawal of spiritual energy. The collective consciousness has turned its back, cutting off the invisible cords that once sustained this person's false power. Your accuser is now drowning in that void. Former followers are deleting old photos, removing connections, pretending they never knew them. Those who once praised every word now feel physically ill, remembering how easily they were deceived. History is being rewritten in real time as everyone scrambles to distance themselves from the contamination of association. Even the dark entities that once protected this person have turned against them. You see, darkness is transactional. It serves only as long as it's fed. And when the feeding stops, it devours its own master. The same forces they sent to torment you now circle them, enraged and hungry. Their nights have become torment. They wake at 3 a.m. drenched in fear, feeling unseen eyes watching them. Shadows move at the edge of their vision. Their health declines without explanation. Finances vanish. Relationships collapse. Everything they touch decays. This isn't distant karma. This is instant retribution. Divine justice delivered with same-day precision. The physical signs of their spiritual rot are now undeniable. Look into their eyes. The light that once seemed divine was never theirs. It was stolen from others. Now that the theft has ended, only darkness remains. Their complexion dulls despite every attempt to mask it. Their voice, once persuasive and magnetic, cracks with fear and exhaustion. The illusion of power is draining away, leaking through the cracks like water from a broken vessel. And now, earthly justice is catching up to spiritual justice. Authorities are beginning to take notice. What they did wasn't just morally corrupt, and it was criminal. There are real victims, real evidence, and real consequences. The reputation and status that once shielded them now mean nothing. Because when truth comes with receipts, no title can save you. Their name is being whispered in rooms where freedom is negotiated. Investigations unfold, and as they do, each discovery leads to another. One victim revealing 10 more, one lie uncovering a web of countless others. The scope of their darkness expands like a spreading stain, and with every revelation the disgust deepens. People now ask themselves how something so sinister hid in plain sight for so long. But while they fall, you rise. Every falsehood spoken against you is being dismantled in public. The fog surrounding your name has lifted, and clarity has returned. People are beginning to reach out with apologies, humbled, regretful, seeking your forgiveness. But the truth is, you've changed. The person they abandoned no longer exists. You've transformed into something far greater. The living proof that divine justice is real and unstoppable. You've been forged in sacred fires that purified every layer of your being. You no longer crave their validation because you discovered something far more powerful: yourself. The gifts they once tried to steal or suppress haven't just returned. They've evolved. You now see through deception with precision, as if your soul has developed X-ray vision. You can sense truth beneath words like reading Braille with your spirit. What they intended for harm became the very pressure that formed your diamond nature. You're no longer who you were. You're who you were always meant to be. The vindication you're experiencing runs deeper than emotional satisfaction. It's cellular. Your body is releasing the trauma it held during those battles. Your nervous system is recalibrating to peace. Your energy field is expanding again, no longer compressed by judgment or fear. Each day you are literally becoming more you, and the universe is responding. New doors are opening, not the old ones you once knocked on, but new paths designed for the version of you that has emerged. Opportunities now align perfectly with the wisdom you earned through endurance. The right people, your real soul family, are finding you, drawn by your frequency. The synchronicities surrounding you aren't coincidences, they're divine confirmations. Every repeating number, every chance encounter, every blessing flowing your way is the universe saying, "I see you. I've always seen you. And now, so does everyone else." What's coming your way is not charity, it's compensation. Every good thing arriving is back pay for what was stolen, with compound interest for your pain. But this isn't just your redemption, it's a revolution. Your story has become medicine. Others who have endured false accusation and spiritual warfare are finding hope in your survival. Because you stood firm, children are being protected, and future victims are being spared. Your endurance became the catalyst for widespread healing. This exposure is shaking spiritual communities everywhere. People are questioning those they once worshipped. Blind trust is giving way to discernment. Leaders are being held accountable. You have become a lighthouse without even trying, shining simply because you survived. Your story rewrites the rules of what's possible. You are living proof that false accusations aren't death sentences. They're initiation rites. You've shown the world that truth doesn't just survive, it resurrects. Now that justice has begun to unfold, your accuser might try to return. They may seek forgiveness to ease their conscience, offering apologies wrapped in manipulation, bribes disguised as remorse. When that moment comes, and it will, stay centered. Their karma is theirs to face, not yours to fix. Your healing doesn't require their participation. When that old programming stirs, the urge to forgive too quickly, to see the best in everyone, pause. That compassion is your gift, not your weakness. But strength also means knowing when to protect your peace from poison, even when it arrives with tears and apologies. Some from your past will approach with genuine remorse. Use your heightened discernment to distinguish true repentance from convenient regret. The ones meant to stay will honor your boundaries. They'll respect your silence, because your peace now holds more value than their guilt. You'll also notice that not everyone can handle your healing. Some people preferred you wounded. It made them feel safer, more powerful, more in control. Your strength threatens their illusions. Your joy exposes their misery. They'll reveal themselves through subtle discomfort at your success. Let them go with gratitude for the clarity. Their absence is your confirmation. You were never chosen for random suffering. You were strategically placed to expose corruption and purify a collective wound. Your endurance sparked a chain reaction of awakening. You are not a victim of cruelty. You are a spiritual warrior who completed a mission few could survive. The new gifts activating within you, piercing discernment, unshakable composure, deep empathy, prophetic insight, are not accidents. They're tools for your next divine assignment. Now you stand as a guardian. People will be drawn to your energy, carrying stories of betrayal and false accusation. Your presence will give them strength. Your survival will give them hope. You have become living testimony, walking proof that divine justice exists and it works. Strange things may start happening. Prophetic dreams that manifest within days. Intuitive downloads that defy logic. Healing energy flowing through your hands when someone truly needs it. Don't fear these changes, they are your birthright. These abilities were never lost, only dormant, waiting for the storm to awaken them. The attack didn't destroy you, it accelerated your evolution. Your aura now carries the unmistakable signature of someone tried by fire and emerged unburned. Those who walk in light can see it. They recognize you instantly as one of their own. You've earned your seat among divine warriors at tables you never knew existed. Your scars are credentials now, proof that you've passed the most sacred test. The universe is about to compensate you beyond imagination, not just with restored blessings, but multiplied abundance, spiritual, emotional, and material. Every door that once closed will reopen wider. Every opportunity that was stolen will return upgraded. And when people see the blessings pouring into your life, they'll wonder what miracle you stumbled into. But you'll know the truth. You earned it. You paid for it with tears, with blood, with temporary exile. And now, you are being rewarded not just with wealth, but with wisdom, peace, and consciousness no amount of money could ever buy. You're now receiving downloads of wisdom that would take entire lifetimes for others to acquire. You have access to dimensions most people don't even know exist. These are tools you'll carry not just for this lifetime, but beyond it. Divine technology meant for your eternal mission. And now, watch what happens to their legacy compared to yours. Everything they built on deception is crumbling. Their name, once praised, is becoming synonymous with corruption and betrayal. Meanwhile, your name is being cleared, restored, and elevated. People will speak of your story as living proof of divine justice, as evidence that truth, no matter how delayed, always prevails. The contrast between your paths is becoming cosmic poetry. As they descend into the darkness they created, you ascend into the heaven you sustained through integrity. As their mask dissolves and the monster beneath is revealed, your true face shines brighter, radiant with authenticity, glowing with the light they once tried to steal. The reversal is so perfect, so precise. It feels written by the universe itself. Your spiritual protection has also evolved. It's no longer the fragile innocence you once carried. It's the earned armor of someone who has walked through hell and returned with divine fire. You are now surrounded by ancestors who honor your courage and angels who bear witness to your faithfulness under pressure. You are guarded by intelligent forces that recognize your energy signature as one of their own. This protection isn't naive, it's discerning. It knows the difference between genuine love and manipulative intent. It welcomes what's pure and instantly deflects what's false. You don't need to fear deception anymore. Your spiritual security has been upgraded to military grade. Now here's the unsettling truth. What they were doing wasn't just personal, it was systemic. They weren't acting alone. They were part of something organized, an ancient network wearing modern masks. Different faces, different altars. Same formula. They trade in innocence. They feast on faith. They preach about prosperity while secretly feeding on pain. They turn spirituality into a Ponzi scheme of energy, harvesting trust and monetizing misery. But your survival, your exposure, has struck their infrastructure like lightning. You didn't just stop one predator. You damaged an entire ecosystem of darkness. Other victims are awakening. They're recognizing their own stories in yours. Whispered confessions are turning into open conversations. The pattern is becoming visible. The gaslighting, the isolation, the defamation, the energetic feeding, all part of the same manual. And now that the manual is exposed, it no longer works. Their formula has lost its power because awareness dismantles deception. The one who targeted you is deteriorating rapidly. If you've seen them lately, you can sense it. Their body is aging at an unnatural pace. The vitality they once displayed was never their own. It was stolen energy. Now, cut off from their supply, they're withering like fruit in fast motion. Their beauty fades. Their charm is gone. Their health declines. What they consumed from others is demanding repayment with interest. Their mind, too, is fracturing. The shock of exposure is splintering their psyche. They lived inside a mask for so long that being seen for who they truly are is driving them into madness. They double-check locks. They feel eyes watching. Paranoia consumes them. The hunter has become the hunted. Their decline follows the pattern of karmic collapse, denial, bargaining, rage, and finally, the breakdown that strips away every illusion. They are spiraling toward the pit they once dug for you. But you, look at you now. You're glowing from within. Not the kind of glow that fades, but the kind that radiates from authenticity. Your light is real because it's been earned through pain, transmuted into wisdom. You don't have to perform, prove, or pretend. Your existence alone brings healing. Your presence shifts atmospheres. People feel lighter, safer, understood in your company. They may not know why, but they feel it. Your energy restores them. The glow isn't symbolic, it's energetic. Your frequency has returned to its original blueprint, pure, balanced, powerful. You are no longer dimmed by doubt or drained by others' projections. Those around you are starting to notice. You look younger, healthier, more radiant. That's not coincidence. That's your divine vibration restoring itself. You've become a walking sanctuary, a living temple for those who've suffered similar wounds. And here's the most profound part. You're not doing this. You're being this. Your very presence is medicine. Your energy is a safe space. You've become a beacon for souls seeking truth, a reminder that even after betrayal, light returns, stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. The future ahead of you is nothing like the past they tried to trap you in. You're stepping into rooms once closed, meeting people who recognize your soul instantly. Everything you lost was only preparation for what's coming. divine connections, new opportunities, and blessings designed specifically for your reborn spirit. Every tear is turned to wisdom, every betrayal to power. You're not chasing revenge. Your peace and success are the revenge. They wanted to break you, but you became unbreakable. They tried to silence you, but your truth speaks louder than ever. Their lies are collapsing, their masks have fallen, and the world finally sees who they are. You were never the victim. You were the storm sent to expose corruption. Now the universe itself is correcting the imbalance. The disgust directed at them isn't cruelty. It's divine cleansing. Humanity is learning discernment through your story. The false are falling and the truth is rising through you. Your vindication isn't just personal, it's cosmic. Your restoration isn't temporary, it's eternal. The universe has spoken. Truth prevails. Justice arrives. The chosen ones rise. Wear your crown proudly. You earned it in fire. The truth, as it finally stands revealed, is that they were never powerful at all. Only skilled performers of illusion. Their authority was borrowed from others. Their so-called wisdom stolen from true seekers. Their light nothing more than reflected glow from genuine souls. Even their affection was theatrical, a carefully crafted performance designed to manipulate. Everything about them was counterfeit, and your mere existence, authentic, radiant, divinely aligned, became the mirror that exposed their fraud. You didn't have to fight them. Your truth alone was enough to unravel their illusion. And now that the truth has escaped into the open, it cannot be contained again. The disgust people feel toward them will not fade. The veil has been torn away permanently, and the world can finally see what you always sensed: the falsehood behind the mask. The revelation of who you are versus who they said you were is not a passing moment. It is the beginning of a permanent shift, lasting justice, deep restoration, and eternal transformation. This isn't temporary vindication. This is divine correction that will ripple through generations. You are free now. You are clear. You are seen as you truly are, protected, chosen, and blessed. Every storm you survived sculpted you into the version of yourself that was always meant to emerge. You have completed the cycle, transmuted the pain, and become the living proof of divine resilience. You now carry what the ancients called the mark of the tested. Though invisible to ordinary eyes, those who move within spiritual realms recognize it instantly. It signifies that you have faced false accusation and triumphed. It is a radiant seal of endurance, earned only by souls who have walked through sacred fire and emerged as refined gold. That mark is your shield now, a symbol of authority, protection, and divine credibility. It tells the universe, this one has been tested and proven. The disgust others feel toward your accuser is more than emotional reaction, it is education. It's teaching them discernment, showing them how easily charm can mimic purity, and how vital it is to listen to their intuition. Without saying a single word, you've become their teacher. Your vindication is upgrading collective consciousness. You've inspired people to question false authority, to look beyond appearance, to sense energy rather than image. What you endured is now a curriculum being absorbed through human experience. Your life has become a living textbook for communities learning to spot predators, hiding behind charisma and robes of virtue. Every manipulation they used, the rumors, the isolation, the energy theft, is being documented not in books but in the memory of the awakened. Future victims will recognize the pattern early because of the blueprint you left behind. You've dismantled their formula by exposing it. You've rewritten the playbook of spiritual warfare through survival. And because of that, an entire network of deception is crumbling under the weight of awareness. As for you, the restoration unfolding in your life is multi-layered. You're about to discover abilities you didn't know existed, intuitive insights arriving like lightning, warnings before danger manifests, recognition of soul family within seconds of meeting them. Doors will open that align perfectly with your evolved vibration. Opportunities that once felt impossible will now seek you. This isn't coincidence. This is the universe's compensation package for chosen ones who complete their trials. It's divine restitution, not just replacing what was lost, but multiplying it beyond imagination. Your very presence has become medicine. You don't need to explain your story. Your energy speaks for you. Those who've been wounded by betrayal will feel understood without you saying a word. Your frequency carries the vibration of restoration, the proof that survival can become transformation. Simply standing in your light brings healing to others. You become a walking sanctuary, a living temple of resilience, grace, and divine justice. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten wisdom.